there opportune times. The question I hear is, show me that the Christian faith is good, not just true.
It's a paradigm shift in our thinking about not only the role of the church, but the role of the pastor, the role of all members. The church is the community, and the community is the church. Worship does not stop on Sunday.
We have the ability to connect our congregation with the goodness of God's Word and understand that worship and work are very well connected.
We need to get back to what the Christian faith, first and foremost, is about. For the church to be the true church and the gospel to truly address every dimension of human life.
Growing up in Blue Island, I remember music playing at night, mariachi music. People are cooking outside. A familial environment, a broken yet familial environment. As a kid, I remember going to school and I was only 12 years old, and one of the kids in the bus pulled a gun out on me. It frightened me. I asked him not to point it at me, and he said, if it goes off, it goes off. I'll never forget that. I remember going to school and realizing that they had shot and killed one of my friends. Realizing that people you went to school with were either shot or dead, knowing that you could lose your life at any moment, left me traumatized and really solidified in my heart that I would leave the neighborhood and not come back. I didn't want it to be part of my future.
I have held every job that you could hold in the church. I've been a janitor, I've been an usher, I've been a choir member, I've been a deacon, and I finally made it to pastor. So all those things that I considered as being a part of helping me to grow. And I think that the best way that we can be a blessing to our congregants is to value what they do outside of church. I grew up in a semi-rural community. There was integration, and so as an African American, I was always confronted with the challenge of living out my life's goals in a world that was often not as welcoming to people of color. And as a pastor, as a leader, I can identify with people who are on the margins. And I've learned the importance of having people who believe in you in your life. And when we value what they do on Monday, on Tuesday, on Wednesday, and throughout the week, we're saying we value you.
Pastors are vital in God's mission in the world. If pastoral leadership does not flourish, then God's mission in the world does not flourish. And most pastors, which I'm one of those, we often miss the reason we have people there on Sunday is to encourage them to live the Christian life in their majority of their world on Monday. My own experience as a pastor really shaped my heart for this because I'd been a pastor for just a few years, and as I began to study the scriptures more, I looked at the seamless story and I looked at my life in pastoral ministry and I went, oh my goodness, I really missed this. I spent the majority of my time equipping my congregation with the slimmest minority of their life. I was committing pastoral malpractice, which is what it was. And when I came to that realization, my language began to change, my priorities began to change, my pastoral paradigm of what I was called to do and what my focus was began to change. People would come up to me and say, I've never heard a pastor talk like this. You mean that's what the Bible teaches, that all of us have a calling? All of us have a mission? That my work matters if I'm a nurse or a teacher or a doctor to God as much as you, Tom? But once they got past the shock, then they began to engage with me and their eyes began to light up. And their faith moved from a shrunken little piece of their life to inform all of their life. It moved from the head to the heart to the hands, out to the community.
Going to seminary, I was introduced to Made to Flourish. And the more I learned about faith and work integration, what it looks like to rebuild communities so that they could flourish within the context of a church, I thought of all the people that were just like me. I thought of people that were like my brother. I thought the Mexican immigrants and the brokenness that had existed. And I couldn't help but think maybe, just maybe, God had prepared me and allowed me to go to seminary and take this route to serve the very people that He loves. Maybe God's calling me back to Blue Island. Maybe God's calling me to a community He wants to flourish. And it might just be that He wants to do it through me. So I got my seminary degree and came back and served as a pastor, and been a pastor ever since then. You know, the whole theology of work and connecting the Sunday to Monday gap is something that could sound a little theoretical, but in practice, it really causes a community to flourish. What I love about my church in Blue Island is that we're looking to infuse spiritual value, social value, intellectual value, and economic value back into our neighborhood. One of the last grocery stores left closed down about 10 years ago. And because of that, we're a food desert. 18.9% of the Blue Island community is living below the poverty level. We feel that doing justice to people is not going to be to give them food, but to teach them how to grow crops that make money.
Welcome, everyone. We're so grateful that you're here. And today, we're going to do a seed workshop where we're going to teach you how to plant your own seeds.
Our goal is to grow crops that help our community not only build those social skills with the stores that they're going to be selling the produce to, but be able to build a good business model. We have 3D printers and a few resin printers. And when we bring students through these cohorts, we want them to think a little bit wider about solving problems. We want them to know that God has created them to do greater things than what they've ever imagined. And we want to be exemplary leaders in that area.
Aquí estamos en el Centro de Esperanza.
And with our garage, we bring in ASC certified mechanics. These are master mechanics.
Puedes venir a reparar tu carro gratuitamente, pero estos mecánicos están aquí para capacitarte a ser mecánico, si es que tomas los cursos de mecánica. We want to invite you guys to come out. We have ASC certified mechanics.
So in doing that, we want to be able to encourage and inspire people that are in marginal communities to understand that there's something very sacred and central to work that God loves, that God cares about.
Made to Flourish is an organization that helps equip pastors to integrate faith, work, and economics for the flourishing of everyone, for all their communities.
I don't think it's optional. I would say that it's essential, the integration of faith and work. The best thing that we can do for people is to help them believe in themselves and the work that they do.
Working is beautiful, working is fulfilling, and when you couple that with God's intent for work, it becomes a call.
So I think it's an opportune time for the church to express its goodness for everyone in human flourishing.